It's live, man.
We live. We are live. It's interesting because I can't see where we are live, but you say we are live, so I believe you.
Dude,
Hey,
we're live.
everybody. Do I go, come on in, come on in.
Listen, come on in.
Uh,
You
Come
got
on
to
in.
get.
This is the Man-Ology project. My name is AC. I am the original host or the normal host's younger brother. And we are going to take just a few minutes to talk about this huge event that he has coming up that I'm so proud of him for putting on and uh, getting getting things rolling with that. I think it's going to be super, super helpful for a lot of men who are, struggling with mental health, struggling
Yeah.
with stress, all type of issues. And so I'm excited about that. So I told him, you're always interviewing people. Somebody needs to come on here and interview you about this summit that you're putting on so that people can know, uh, what's going on. Can't see if anybody's watching. If you are, oh, it says join the chat. Oh, okay. That's not working. Uh, uh, okay, you got it going. All right.
Yeah.
Um, if you are watching, just go ahead and throw where you're watching from in the chat. Um, and as we kind of talk, if you have any questions, if you're interested, we'd love to get you some information so you can be a part of this awesome event that's going to happen on June 7th.
Yeah.
Is that right, Mr.
Yep.
Crumby?
June 7th.
Awesome. All right. Let me go to my questions. Um, Talk about, first of all, it's Men's Mental Health and Wellness Summit on June 7th
Yeah.
um, at Wayne State University,
Yes, sir.
2 for 2.
2 for 2, baby.
It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. You've got some great speakers. We'll talk about those in a bit. Panel, and you'll be sharing some words as well. And so we're excited about that. Why don't you set us up and just share a little bit of the heart, like why this summit, why now?
Man, the summit and why now? Those are great questions. And the thing is this, I've been mentoring men for, wow, 25 plus years. I've been doing and walking life with husbands, businessmen, um, pastors, deacons.
Men of
but
the
I've
cloth.
the man of the cloth. But I've been just walking with man, doing life. It's been a journey, but it's been pretty awesome. I've been talking to a lot of men individually, and
Yeah.
so really trying to, at some point it was like, okay, I got to bring all of these guys that I've been talking to, who are great men, by the way, and I got to get these guys all in the same space so they can meet and so that we can create this new network and new iron sharpens iron type of atmosphere. Because, like I said, I got 25 years worth, over hundreds of men I've been talking to. My phone is literally filled to the brim with men I've met basically everywhere from state to state. And so it's been like kind of crazy to have that many men for you to meet. And I thought I just kind of was thinking like, okay, guys, so what do you do next? And it was like,
Yeah.
okay, um, let's find a space where we can actually create some type of uh, safety so that men can kind of come, have some dialogue, do some networking, and at the same time, you got to have some good food. Men want to hear good content; they want to have good food. So we're gonna have a great brunch as well. But the main focus is just creating a safe space for men to be able to go and have conversations that really affect our lives, both naturally and spiritually. So
Good. That's awesome. Yeah, I actually pulled up some statistics that were really alarming, which just speaks to the need of this event, even at the lowest level. Right
yeah,
now, uh, WHO, which is the World Health Organization, did a study. 1 out of 8 men worldwide experience a mental health condition.
Yep. Facts.
Um, Suicide rates globally, men account for 75% of suicides globally.
Yeah.
Um, it's super disproportionate to women, 22 per 100,000 men to 6.8 per 100,000 women.
Right.
Um, Another alarming statistic that I saw was their studies show that men are less likely to seek mental health. Only like 36%
Yep.
of men are willing to seek help. And pretty much they attribute it to two reasons. Not that they don't have the money
Right.
or like the wherewithal to like know where to go to get help. The two biggest reasons that attribute to it is stigma and societal norms.
Yep.
Men are, you may be seen as weak. You should be, you should have everything together. You shouldn't need any help. You should be able to do things on your own. You should know it all.
Yep.
Uh,
That's our
and
macho.
yeah, and that's kind of the stigma that comes with it, and it's the reason why you see such high rates
Yep.
of men who has some type of mental health issue, and also some suicidal rate. you know the increase in that is crazy, but it's based off of these attributes that stigma drives the conversation when it comes to this. So talk a little bit about that, as you have spoken to men and talked to them about this event and just about their overall um uh like mental health. Like, are men reaching out? Are they, or are you driving a lot of the conversations? You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is that I think I used to drive some of the conversations, and that's really just come with that safety net, right? I think what I found is that men, it's not that they don't really want to talk about stuff or really want to share stuff. It's just that they're very afraid that people will weaponize what they tell them. Um, So they think women will weaponize it, and then they think that men as a whole will weaponize, which kind of leads to what you were talking about, right? That societal norm of the stigma, and then the sign of weak. You're being weak. So it's like you get with all your boys, it's like, yo, man, I had to go see a therapist, and it's like, what? It's like, why you ain't just go to the
Yeah.
barber shop? It's like you should have just met us on the basketball court or something, because that was just like the old school method, way of handling or talking through life. Either it was at the barbershop or we set up at the basketball court. I mean, you know that, bro. We would sit up at the basketball court and you would chop it up until your turn came. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have all that stuff. So at the same
Yeah.
time, we were never put in an isolated situation. So back then, it was a lot more common for men to really bond and have conversations around real life, um, because basically we had to come out to meet each other. It wasn't no picking up the phone or texting somebody 35 times a day and you never have to leave your house. So
Yeah.
that's just the big difference from now, from back then, is that now things are a little bit more isolated. Now men are a little bit they're more alone with their own thoughts. I remember talking to one lady and I told her, I was like, you think that your husband doesn't want to talk? I said, but just a husband is talking every day, all day. And it's every man knows that, but we're talking up here. We're talking all day in our minds. From the time we wake up, we got so much to talk about because we're trying to build a family, and that's whether you married or not. You're trying to build some type of connection to your family. The second thing is that you're trying to build some type of provision for whether it's just taking care of your family, or if you're trying to go to that next level, which is entrepreneurship or wealth or what something like that, which that just plays even more harder on our mentals. But the two things I just found from talking to men is there's two things that draw and pull the most service from us. It's our family time and our work time. Like those are the two things that pull the hardest on us, and they declare us to give 1,000% of service to each one of them. Now, bringing that up is because basically at the event, that's our topic that we're gonna jump into at the event, is when our work life and our family life collides. I basically got that idea from a book I was reading. Andy Stanley wrote. And it was said when work and home life collide. And so as I started reading it, I was like, he really wrote it just from his own perspective of his own life and him building up his life to get wealth and to start a business and watching the dynamic between him and his wife and the kids. And it was like all this time he thought that he was doing a great gesture by going out and working and providing a house and cars and boats and trips to only find out his wife was still angry every day. And he said it took him years to really realize that he was missing the whole point of the family time and what was needed from him for his family. And so, what I want to do is be able to take that type of information and then pour it back to our fellas. And it's not even the fact that you can't go and build wealth, right? That's not the point. The point is that in building wealth, what is the plan to actually secure that your family still gets to have that touch feel from you in the house, right? The father, the sternness, the ability to really, steer those kids in the right direction. A lot of guys just, want to, well, I'm out and and so the wife is going crazy to only make you go
Yeah.
crazy because she's coming at you, right? And it's like, so that balance is just off. And I think over the last year and a half, I landed at this topic because that is where a lot of our conversations were starting to lead to is, hey, Q, that's why I said I was driving a conversation. And over the last probably 5 years, guys have been reaching out to me. And then last year, I got so many texts and calls on, hey, man, because I deal with a lot of married men and it's like, yo, my wife is like bugging and I'm supplying the needs. I'm doing all this stuff and she's still coming at me. Like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like, well, they need you. You know what I mean, bro? You got a full fam. Being a pastor when you was in LA, it was like, what you have to put what you had to put in at the church. It's like, I gotta put
Well,
this time
I,
in.
I think I think just going back to the point of you reaching out to people or people reaching out to you. I don't think there's ever been a time where even back then, like you talk, but no one's really talking. Like we're talking about stuff that we may want to talk about. We're not talking about stuff that we need to talk about. And I
Oh,
think
that's
that
good. Yeah.
is I think that's the difference in terms of what it means to actually be in community, and building that mental capacity to be able to share those things,
Yeah.
that will lead to health in your life
Yeah.
is not just sharing what you want to share, which is basketball and like all of that. We can talk forever, we can crack
Right.
jokes, we can talk about life and all these funny stuff, but when do we ever talk about the stuff we need to talk about?
Right. And there's things
and
we need to
and
talk about.
and we don't always want to, you know put it on our wives, because a lot of times we don't think our wives can handle it, or they may not understand, or
Yeah.
and so I think at the bare minimum, this event gives people a community and a place where they can actually go share and, you know get connected.
Yeah.
At my church, we started a program called the Den for men. It's kind of an on ramp, but it's called the Den. And this program is essentially you come in, we always have some food or meatballs or nachos or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, and then you hear a testimony. So some guy shares kind of their life, and then you have some questions to just debrief what connects you to, that story.
Yeah.
And man, it's amazing when you purposefully put men around a table and you say, "Hey, we're not going to just talk about the things we want to talk
Yeah.
about. We're going to talk about the things we need to talk about." That they begin to share things that you, didn't know you needed to hear.
Yeah.
Didn't know so many men struggled with the same thing. And so
Right.
that's what makes me excited about this event, is that, no matter what walk of life that you're from, no matter, what stage of life you're in, so whether you're married, whether you're thinking about getting married, whether you're single, um, starting this process only, leads to gold in your life,
Yeah.
freedom in your life. we've got to open spaces up for men to be able to be vulnerable and talk about the things that are going on in their life. Because as you said, like, they are talking all day in their head and they think they're the only one. No one else knows my
Yep.
struggle. No one else is going through this. Um, and I can't talk about it to anyone because if I do, they may think this or that.
Yep.
Um, when you go and you see other men from all statures, you got business owners, like celebrities, you've got pastors, you've got, blue collar workers, white collar workers, like everybody in the same room, struggling with some of the same stuff, talking
Yep.
through it.
Yep.
Just shoulder to shoulder, moving through life through some of these tough things, and as well as expressing that it's okay
Yep.
not to be okay and to need to talk to someone, talk
Yeah.
to a pastor, talk to a therapist. It's okay to reach out. Yes, we can pray, always pray. Bible tells us to do that. um, Seeing a therapy is not the absence of prayer. It's not the absence of being a strong Christian or a strong believer.
Right.
God can use you. God can use someone that you can talk to who is trained in the psychology of life to
Right.
help you navigate some things. And it's okay to do that. And I
Yep.
think this space is going to really, really promote that. And my prayer and hope is that it pushes more men to better mental health. Okay, one last question, um, and I'd love for you to kind of share two things. One, just kind of talk about some of the people that's going to be there to speak, and then talk about and then the second question is, if there's a guy out there. Oh, we got some people in the chat.
We got
Who
people in the
cats in the
chat. What up,
chat?
Mo?
Mo is in the chat. Ed
Ed,
is in the chat.
my boy
That's big.
Desi was
That's
in the
big bro
chat.
right there. Ed is big
Yes,
bro right
sir.
there, man.
Cat,
Desi's in the chat.
Carl, our other brother is in the chat.
Um, uh, yeah. So talk about who's going to be there speaking.
Uh-huh.
And then talk about someone who is, will see this video, play this video back, uh, and is walking through some tough stuff, maybe some mental health. I love what one of the statistics that I pulled up was men struggle with more. Men struggle with a ton of anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
It's 1 out of 8 men experience depression at some point in their lives.
Yep.
The problem why they can't really get the statistics on the men is because a lot of them go unreported or undiagnosed because they just don't show they don't talk about it.
They don't
So
listen,
they
they not
just
going in. They're not
they
they're
just
not going
yeah,
in.
they just live with it. And that's I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking nobody in that because you want to be strong, you want to be that guy, but a lot of it just go untreated, undiagnosed,
Yeah.
um, and then that ends up leading to higher rates in those areas. So
Yeah.
talk to the guy who needs to be here, who's struggling right now. But first, tell us who's going to be there talking and stuff.
All right, so I'm gonna give you guys just a little bit of insight on what we're gonna be doing, right?
And
So
you
first
got
of all,
you got 5 minutes.
all right, we got 5 minutes. I'm wrapping this up.
Yes.
So I got so we got a keynote speaker, a great friend of mine, Sean Smith. You guys are gonna love him, man. He's one of the head NFL referees, and he actually speaks to the other all the referees that are associated with the NFL, and he basically kind of works with them with building work-life balance. And so when me and him were talking, he right away said that he wanted to join in and share some of the stories that he's been so blessed to be able to hear and to be able to help men get through some things. Then I put together, man, I think probably one of the most premier panels, man. I got Mr. For Real himself, Lensberg Petway. I know you
Let's
guys
go.
see big time
I
influencer.
almost wore his t-shirt.
Uh, Listen, Lynn is gonna bring some
For real.
power
He
nuggets.
is.
He's in that space with young men. I got my buddy Desi Johnson. He's a new guy that I met, man. I met him at another event, and he spoke so well on wellness that I had to bring him on, man. We've hit it off. You would think we've been knowing each other for years, man, but he's a great guy. He's passionate about the health of men from a wellness standpoint, weight loss, dietary plans that he puts together, him and his wife. I also have Dr. Kevin Scott. This guy is so deep into the mental health area, man. He works very heavy with the veterans. So all those veterans that are dealing with PTSD, he's in the trenches with them. He's helping resolve
That's
and
awesome.
helping to be able to get back on their feet. I got a good friend of mine. I just met, Jimmy Nelson. We bonded, man, because he was going through some health things himself. And he really started to understand that the health of men is very important because he has a wife, he has a kid, he owns a business. And he was like, none of that stuff makes any sense if I'm not healthy. And so we start talking about that. And he literally was like, man, if you can allow me, please, to join that panel, man, I want to be able to get in to have some conversation.
That's awesome.
Um, and then we have I got a great moderator. No, I won't be moderating, but I got my boy Terrence. I call him Terrence P. But he's going to moderate, man. This guy is a leadership guy. So he's going to take the reins on directing us and taking us through the flow of that panel discussion. It's going to be phenomenal.
Nice.
Some of our sponsors that we have is Wayne State, who's our venue sponsor. We got some raffles and giveaways. We got sponsors like Home Depot that's been involved with our sponsorship for our raffles. And it's going to just be a good time, man. And then for those guys who are literally like on the fence, should I be here? Should I not come? Is this a cry fest? I don't, some guys think that we're going to be there just crying, and that's not really the case. The case is that if you're a husband, a brother, a son, a businessman, a community leader, a pastor, any man that's in leadership, this is an event for you. This is a place right now where you can come in and basically offload some of those heavy weights that you've been dealing with. We're gonna basically try to strategically place people at the table, man, for that networking piece, where you may be able to rub shoulders with another guy who may have went through some of the same things that you've been through. So my thing overall, if you can just come in. Even if you have no expectation, I'm just telling you just to come on in, and I promise you that you'll have a great time. Because we're literally here to make sure that we build a community of fellas who want to be better. We want to be the best husband. We want to be the best brother. We want to be the best, businessman, a community leader. So we want to be the best, but sometimes, man, we falter because we're talking up here and we don't have anybody to share with. So come and join us, and I promise you, man, you're gonna have a great time.
All right. You took almost 5 minutes.
Listen, man. That's because you took too much. You
No.
you
No,
took
you took
22
too much
minutes and
time.
left me with 3 minutes, man.
Well, that's the interviewer. I control the reins. Okay. Okay. You got 2 minutes. Close us out. Also, I'm gonna give away a ticket. So I'm gonna buy a ticket for somebody who, if you can DM Q or me and just say, hey, saw the vid, would love to go. I'd love to give someone with a ticket to come and
Yeah.
be a part of it. So
Hold
do
on.
that. All right. You
Hold
got
on. I got 2.
1 minute.
Okay, I got 2 tickets that I'm doing a giveaway. So you guys watch my Facebook feed. I'll put in all the requirements on what it is. But I got 2 tickets that were sponsored by a business, and they want to, help, 2 young men, come to the event. So watch for
Very cool. So you got
that
three
information.
opportunities. One is on his page. The other one is if you DM me or Q, hey, AC, want to go? Saw the vid. I'd love to give someone a ticket. All right,
Yep.
you got literally 2 minutes, and I'm counting.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut you
I'm
off
gonna
if you
make
go
this.
longer.
No,
But talk to the
this is gonna
person
be
who
quick.
needs to come.
All right, so this is a call to action. Okay, So what I want us to do is, everybody may not know the story about the Samaritan, um, story on the Samaritan, as far as helping someone that's across the street, right? I'm not gonna
The
give
Good
a full Bible
Samaritan.
lesson, but
Yeah.
I want our call to action is that men that are healthy, that are taking time to be with therapists, psychiatrists, like working on themselves at a high level.
Mm,
Look across that street, man. Over across that street, one of our brothers are over there struggling. And my call to action is that we go across the street there, we put down our busy life, and we go help someone, and we pull them up by the bootstraps, and we carry that burden for them. Uh,
yeah.
we don't we don't bid them Godspeed, but we want to go and start helping our other brothers carry those burdens that they have, so that we can all be successful in this role as a man. So that's my call to action, that we seek out to put a text out to somebody, call someone. It doesn't take but 2 seconds to send a text, and it takes less than that to just pick up a call and leave a voicemail or something. But because guys really need
And
it.
how much is it? What's the price on the ticket?
The ticket is $50, but I want you guys to understand that
Oh,
the
that's
price,
nothing.
yeah, the price that we have, man, is literally just a donation. What you're really doing is you're donating so that we can offer our workshops at a discounted rate, right?
Oh,
We want to try to cut.
you don't have to sell that, man. They spend more. They spend $50 in 1 week on fast food. So
Well, no, you're right.
that's
You're right. You're right.
that's
But
literally that's 3 Chick-fil-A meals right there. Uh,
three
here's what I would
Chick-fil-A,
say
man.
about that. Just this is an opportunity to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself on a Saturday, June 7th. Bring someone, bring your sons, invest in them. It's going
Yep.
to be an awesome, awesome, great opportunity to do so. Okay, we are closing out. Um, thank you. What are you? What's your title in this in the org? Oh, you're the founder.
I'm the
Founder Q.
founder and executive
Sorry,
director.
Founder Q. Founder Q. Executive Director.
I had to find me a new interviewer,
No,
man.
no, you're the executive director, founder, custodial. You're the chair seat,
Listen,
the chair formationer, the audio
I-
tech. You're the
I'm the
setup,
hype
tear
guy.
down. You're the height. Yeah, you do it all.
And
All
then I
right.
got to clean up afterwards.
And you got to clean up. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you all on
Peace out.
June 7th.